guys, how you doing? Hope everything is well. Everything is good with me. Y'all, yes, it's all over the internet about this young lady that that knifed a lady, the manager, named Jennifer in McDonald's. So she went on to rant about what was going on in the workplace. She was saying that Jennifer was targeting her, and actually not actually targeting, bullying her. And she said, every time she would come in, that she would target, like, bully her. And she said she would talk to us like, we were her children. You understand? We was like, she said she was talking to us like we was children, and I was like, I'm not your child. But she has to understand, like, she probably was talking to you like a child, but not in that sense. She probably was trying to treat you like she would treat her own children. You understand? Because you're young. You understand? But then she was saying that she targeted her and was sending her home. Every time she get there, she just send me home out of nowhere. And she was saying, like, everybody makes mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes I seen her make and stuff like that there. She was trying to explain online, like, this is why I have to do what I have to do, which is ridiculous. You understand? So she was trying to cover up, let us know that when I do what I do, this is why I'm doing it. You understand? Because she kept saying, she just kept on saying, she was bullying me. She was bullying me every day. She was sending me home, and she was like, yo, I have bills to pay and stuff like that there. And she says, she has to be stopped. Like, she has to be stopped. But I feel like this here, when she said that she was bullying and targeting her, she said she had to understand, like I said, she probably was trying to treat her like she would treat her children, to to help her learn and help her get through the day, and how to handle the job better, because they said she's been working there for a very long time, so she knows what she's doing. But she felt she was being a bully. She felt she was being a bully. I don't know if they had proof. It's that Jennifer was sending her home every day, just out of nowhere, just sending her home. I don't know if they have proof of that or not. Hold on one sec. Yeah, so I was saying, like, like, she probably just couldn't get it that the lady probably, wasn't targeting her, that she was, yeah, sorry, y'all. So I was saying, like, I don't know how true that it was that, she kept sending her home, just because she wanted to. I don't know how true that is. You understand? They would have to ask other, workers in the establishment. But that doesn't give her the right to go there and put on a whole mask and do what she did to this woman. Like, she lost her mind. Like, she didn't even have to handle it like that. Like, she could have just spoke to Jennifer and been like, Jennifer, I feel da-da-da way, this way, that way, and that's it. I don't know what in her mind, think that she can just go over there and do some bogus, some real bogus shit like that to this woman. That's crazy, because they had people stepping up saying that she does help the children a lot. She cares for the kids. So I don't know where she getting this from, but she was ranting. She was ranting on, and she was trying to explain to us, like, this woman has to be stopped. So to me, something is seriously wrong with this young lady, like, mentally. Something is mentally wrong with this lady, because Jennifer wasn't a bad person for you to say that she has to be stopped, like she was a criminal, or the worst person in the world. This is just ridiculous, okay? Because as her, like she said, she didn't want her to talk to her like she was a child, and she's not her child. So she should have talk to her like a woman. Does she understand? Did she understand, like, just what you said, that, well, I'm not her child? So exactly. So this young lady should have talked to Jennifer like a woman, since you said you're not a child. But you did the unthinkable. You went over there and took this woman away that had children, which is ridiculous. It is sad. It's really sad, because it was uncalled for. It was just it was really simple. All she had to do was go over there and talk to Jennifer if she felt that way. You understand? If she felt that way. But I feel like this here. If anybody probably would have crossed her, she probably would have did the same thing. So anyway, y'all, I'm gonna read something here. They say the manager was knifed to death at work by an employee after an argument at a Detroit area restaurant on Thursday, police said. The victim has been named as Jennifer Harris, a 36-year-old mother of 6. She has 6 children. 6 children. Wow. Who had worked at the establishment at McDonald's, 9 Mile and Schroeder Avenue for 15 years. You see what I'm saying? She worked there for 15 years, so she was just probably trying to teach her how to, handle things in the place, and she just could not take it. Some people don't want to say, like, I was doing something wrong. I just didn't know how she don't see in her mind like she probably was making mistakes and she probably was correcting her. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, I just think she just thought she was too damn smart, and she didn't want nobody telling her what to do. Harris asked the employee to leave following the argument between the pair. Police said the employee went home, but then returned with a kitchen knife and knifed Harris multiple times shortly before 8 a.m. The 26-year-old suspect tried to run out of the restaurant after attack by a customer with a pow-pow, fired a warning shot, and detained the suspect. A witness at the drive-thru said the suspect was wearing a mask when she returned, according to the police. She started knifing her and ran for help and basically asked everybody, like, help, who, or whatever the witness said. I tried to stop her. It was no stopping her. She was knifing her everywhere. She was wilding out. She was wild. Something was wrong. She's dark. Like I said, I went to her page. She's a very dark young lady. She's very dark. I don't know what she was battling, but she's a very dark spirit. Yes, she's very dark, and she took that out on Jennifer, and that's very heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? Harris' daughter, Griffin, told the reporters, my mommy was a good person. She was the best mom anyone could ever ask for. My mommy, she woke up every day to work. My mother died trying to take care of us. That's so true. They said workplace violence remains a persistent problem in the United States. The Occupant Safety and Health Administration that about 2 million Americans experience workplace violence each year. Hospitality workers experience 8% of workplace violence cases, and guest interaction in late night hours contributing to viable, according to the report. They said that the unexplainable to me, viral dispute happens every day, and that they should stay there. Viral disputes happen, and they can mediate or talk to management later and try to settle the dispute like adults. No dispute should ever result in violence, especially homicide. That is so true. Like I said, she could have went to her and was like, this is how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? For her to do some old craziness, putting on masks and just doing the most, you know what I'm saying? And she's a rapper. So a rapper. I listened to it. It was like, no, that wasn't it. She was a rapper. You know, a lot of young people is so confused. I am so serious. I am so serious. I'm serious. I don't know what's going on with our youth. You know, this is our future, and this is it. This is it right here. This here should not have ever happened. So anyway, the owner of the franchise site said, "We are deeply saddened by the tragic incident. Our hearts go out to the victim's family and loved ones. Violence of any kind is unacceptable in our restaurant, and we're taking this matter extremely serious, as the safety and well-being of our employees and customers is our top priority. We are fully cooperating with the law enforcement as they conduct their investigation, and the restaurant remains closed to further notice." But like I said, she had problems. You could see the way she was talking. You could see the way she was looking. Okay, and like I said, I had went on her page, and it's very dark. You know, she has a dark page. It's really scary. You know, I don't know what this young lady was going through, but she needed some help, like for real. She really needed some help. You know, I really believe she needed some help. And, you know, since July, this has been awful. You know, every time I turn around, it's somebody else, just mass shooting, this here uncalled for, that this girl put a whole mask on and went back up in there like nobody ain't gonna know it was her. I don't know what she was even thinking, like they didn't know it was gonna be her. You know what I'm saying? And the young lady said she knew it was her because of her hands. Like, because you maybe probably have your nails done a certain way or tattoos or whatever. Like, girl, bye. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, my heart goes out to Jennifer's family. You know, I'm so sorry that this happened, that these 6 children has to grow up without their mother for a senseless killing. That this girl want to be grown, says she is grown, but didn't handle it like a grown woman would handle it, which is really, really sad. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to let y'all see some videos or whatever and let y'all hear her little rant, because she's a mess. She's a mess. She's a mess. She's a mess. So she's going to go where she needs to go. All right, y'all. Hit that like button and subscribe. Love y'all. Peace.
She left for 5 minutes. She came back with a mask on her face, and the only thing I seen was her hands. That's how I knew it was her. And she started stabbing her, and I ran for help, and basically asking everybody like help or whatever. I tried to stop her. It was no stopping her. She stabbed her everywhere.
This shit isn't funny. She needs to understand that just because she's a mother and got children doesn't mean that she can come in this store, disrespecting people, talking to them like everybody's beneath her. She has no respect. And it isn't funny at all. Like, seriously, man, I got shit I gotta take care of. And she keeps sending me home early. It's not funny. She's playing games. And then all day, throughout the day, she keeps saying her little racial shit. And then throughout the day, she keeps on, like, putting negative energy in the air, talking about people, gossiping about people. It's not funny, man. That shit gonna have to stop. She's a bully. I'm telling you. She's a bully. She brings a lot of negative energy in there. She always panic when there's a lot going on, and then she try to manipulate that and make it seem like we ain't doing something right, but we are working really hard and doing great. It's just the fact that she panicked, and I caught her a few times making a mistake, and she tried to hurry up and play it off. Nobody's perfect. It's fucking McDonald's. It happens. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, like, somebody might get confused. So fuck, it gets busy, yeah. But she needs to stop playing like she don't be making mistakes. I've been catching her. So all that animosity and shit that she keep putting in the air and stuff, that trying to tell me I'm always snapping on people. No, that's false. No, I don't snap on people. I don't go in there doing that. I tell her, no, I make peace. That's what I'm doing. I've been creating peace. So all that negative energy that she's bringing in there and trying to manipulate it, no, that's going to stop. All that negative shit she's saying about, her personal life, all of that. No, she's bringing all that in there and then playing games saying she want to take her belt off and beat somebody. Y'all act like my kids in here. No, we ain't your kids. Respect us. Stop talking to us like that. That shit is crazy. I'm telling you. But to get sent home 2 days in a row, man, and I came in on my off day to make up my time, and she still sends me home early, it's not funny. Somebody gonna have to do something about that. It's not funny. It's not fair. It isn't funny at all. So, you know, she could keep being a bully if she wants to, but that shit is going to catch up to her. Because it ain't funny at all. It ain't.
McDonald's manager stabbed to death during her shift. This is a story that has shaken our entire community. Thank you for joining us. I'm Simon Shakehead.
And I'm Carolyn Clifford. Our hearts are heavy as we think about the family and friends of 39-year-old Jennifer Harris.
Loved ones left searching for answers. They tell us Jennifer was kind, hardworking, deeply loved. This tragedy started when Harris reportedly sent an employee home early, and that worker allegedly came back and attacked her.
Just hard to believe it happened at 9 Mile and Schroeder in East Point. 7 News reporter Ruta Olsanaida is speaking with the family tonight about their devastating loss and the terrifying moments that changed everything.
39-year-old Jennifer Jamma Harris went to work at this East Point McDonald's every single day to support her family, and they say she did not deserve this.
Why take our mama from us? You knew he loved each other.
It is absolute heartbreak for the family of Jennifer Harris, a 15-year employee of McDonald's and the manager here in East Point. They all gathered at the very spot she lost her life Thursday morning. Police say it was a senseless act caused by a simple argument.
There was a dispute between two co-workers, and one co-worker was sent home as a result of the dispute.
That co-worker, a 26-year-old East Point resident, then allegedly returned hours later with a kitchen knife and stabbed Jennifer multiple times. A customer and licensed CPL holder, noticing the violence, fired a single shot into the air to put an end to what he was seeing.
Nobody was hit by the gunshot, but it did stop the assault. The suspect dropped the knife and started running away from the location.
That Good Samaritan then detained the suspect before she could get far until police arrived and took her into custody. Jennifer was rushed to a local hospital but died due to her injuries. Neighbors say they sometimes hear arguments at this McDonald's, but never anything like this.
Goodness, I don't even know what to think, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's just sad all around. You don't want to see this.
The loving mother leaves behind her 6 children who say they used to visit both their mom and the suspect at work and are confused to why the violence had to escalate this far.
We would come up here. We met her co-workers. We met the lady and everything. I don't understand why she had to kill her.
We reached out to the owner of this McDonald's, who told us in part, quote, "Violence of any kind is unacceptable in my restaurants, and we are taking this matter extremely seriously." Meanwhile, the family says Jennifer will be remembered as selfless and kind, her memory never forgotten.
My mama, she woke up every day and went to work for us. My mama died trying to take care of us.
Anyone who witnessed this incident is asked to call East Point Police. Meanwhile, this case has already been sent to the Macomb County Prosecutor's Office for review. In East Point, I'm Rudolph Snyder.
I do.
Put your hand down. With regard to the defendant, Afani Muhammad, please set forth a factual basis for the warrant request.
Yes, Your Honor. 7/10/25, McDonald's employee Afani Muhammad stabbed McDonald's manager Jennifer Harris multiple times with a kitchen knife at the McDonald's restaurant at 179219 Mile. Harris was not armed at the time and died of her injuries. Prior to the stabbing, Muhammad was sent home by Harris for not performing her work duties and told Harris, "I'll be back." Muhammad was arrested on scene and the knife was recovered. Muhammad admitted that she intended to kill Harris and stated that after she was sent home, she drove to a nearby park, decided to come back and stab Harris with a knife that she had inside her vehicle. When Muhammad returned to stab Harris, she entered the back entrance with a hooded mask over her face in an attempt to conceal her identity and attempted to flee the scene after the stabbing, but was stopped by an armed customer.
And the requested charges are murder in the first degree, count 2, dangerous weapon, carrying with unlawful intent, and there's a habitual second notice offense. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
The warrant is being signed, and we can proceed to arraignment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Calling file number 25354, People versus Afani Badu Muhammad. Counsel appearances for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Sean Hagel, on behalf of the people.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Please, this honorable court, acting time hearing on behalf of Mrs. Muhammad, who does appear in the case.
Your name, please, ma'am.
Afani Muhammad.
Very good. You're here today for arraignment on the charges of murder in the first degree, premeditated, count 2, carrying a weapon with unlawful intent, and a habitual second notice. Mr. Licata, how does your client wish to proceed?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. At this time, my client is asking the court to enter a not guilty plea. That is matter set for a probable cause conference at the preliminary exam. I have advised my client of her rights, as well as the charges against her and the potential penalties. We are ready to proceed on those grounds.
Very good. Ma'am, do you understand the nature of the charges against you to your satisfaction after talking to your attorney?
Yes.
Very good. I will go ahead and enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Are you requesting a court-appointed attorney?
Yes.
I will appoint an attorney to represent you. We'll set this matter for a probable cause conference on July 23rd, 2025 at 1 p.m. The preliminary examination will be on July 30th, 2025 at 1 p.m. Esteban, Mr. Licata.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Just briefly, my client is 26 years old, does live in the great city of East Point. Your Honor, my client is a high school graduate. In fact, is actually was taking some online classes for college for a physical therapy degree. Your Honor, there are some disturbing facts in this particular matter, but there are facts that haven't been brought out yet, and my client is extremely anxious to have those facts brought to light during the pendency of this case. She was in an extremely abusive relationship that was not only mental but physical, that involved alcohol issues, which is where the habitual second stems from, and her prior record. Your Honor, my client is a helpful person. She's a giving person. She's actually is credited with saving a life because of a 60-year-old who had skin cancer that she may go to the doctor to find out that that's exactly what it was, and that person is doing extremely well right now. I understand the facts that have been laid out today in the warrant, but at this time, Your Honor, we are asking the court to consider a bond in this manner that is appropriate, that my client can meet so that she can meet with her attorneys and prepare her defense in this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of the people?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Ribeye.
To court rule, the court is well within its authority to grant no bond involving any case involving murder. In this case, we are requesting no bond for this defendant. Also provided within the court rules are certain factors for this court to consider when determining whether to grant any bond at all, and in this case, we are requesting no bond as I indicate. First of all, the court can consider whether or not this defendant is a threat to the community. She entered a public building with other individuals, other employees that were present. She produced a weapon that was a knife longer than 3 inches, and she stabbed the victim multiple times, up to possibly as many as 15 times, eventually causing her death. There were other employees that were present at the time, some of which attempted to help the victim after the stabbing occurred. That alone is enough to show that there is a threat to the community. She then ran from the building to her vehicle, presumably with the intent to flee from the scene. She was stopped by a helpful bystander. You're also able to consider the likelihood of conviction in this case, given the facts as laid out by Detective Showers and the information that the prosecutors have reviewed in order to charge this defendant. There is a very high likelihood of conviction. And then finally, the defendant does have a prior instance of at least one that I'm aware that involved a stabbing, similar obviously to the stabbing that occurred in this case involving a knife. So given all of those factors, and given the fact that this court does have authority to give no bond to defendants charged with murder, I am asking at this time for no bond in this case.
Thank you, counsel. The court has reviewed the charges and the circumstances surrounding this case. The defendant is facing various serious charges, including murder in the first degree, which is one of the most serious criminal offenses in our state, carrying penalties up to life without parole. Additionally, carrying a dangerous weapon with unlawful intent further underscores defendant's potential threat to public safety. Defendant has a prior criminal record out of Virginia for malicious wounding. It was actually felony malicious wounding that was reduced to unlawful bodily injury concerning a stabbing, and that is what gives rise to the habitual second. And in determining bond, the court must look to the factors outlined in Michigan Court Rule 6.106. Number one, the seriousness of the offense and the danger posed to the community. The charges here involved a violent crime with a weapon, indicating a substantial risk to the public. The court finds there is a significant threat to public safety, and therefore the bond must reflect that risk. Number two, the weight of the evidence against the defendant. While the evidence is not fully before us and the defendant is cloaked with the presumption of innocence, the nature of the charges along with the prior criminal history suggests that there is substantial evidence against the defendant. Defendant's criminal history: the defendant has a violent criminal past. The history supports the court's concern that the defendant may engage in further violent conduct if she is released. The defendant's ties to the community: while the defendant is relatively young at 26 years of age, there's no indication that she has any significant stabilizing ties to the community that would ensure her return for court appearances. Without these ties, the court is concerned about the likelihood of flight. Number five, defendant's risk of fleeing or failing to appear. Due to the severity of the charges and the habitual offender status, it makes the defendant a high risk for flight. The court finds that this factor weighs heavily in favor of a high bond amount. Substance abuse or mental treatment: although there are no reports at this time suggesting that the defendant suffers from mental health or substance abuse issues that would mitigate the risks posed by defendant's release, the court is, after considering all of these factors, going to be setting bond at $25 million, cash surety only, with conditions. If the defendant is able to meet those conditions, she must be on a GPS steel cuff tether. She is not to leave the state of Michigan. She is to report her address within 24 hours of, she must report any change of address within 24 hours. There would be stringent daily contact with community corrections as to her whereabouts. She also would be required to have alcohol and drug testing as condition of her release. There would be no contact with the family of the decedent, any witnesses. She is not to return to McDonald's. And if she is unable to post the $25 million bond, she will remain in custody pending further proceedings.